You and I are going wine shopping together. You can find a sensational bottle of wine for criminally low prices. Let's get started exploring and tasting new wines together. SOMM is celebrating the release of its newest original film, Inheriting the Future, in which we take a closer look at the next generation of winemakers in Bourgogne, France's wine region of Burgundy. Now, if you've heard anything about Burgundy, it's either A, that those bottles are very hard to get your hands on, and B, that it's very, very expensive. Now, this is true, but if you know where to look, there is value to be found in Burgundy. And so, to celebrate the forward-thinking spirit of inheriting the future, I have not just one, but two delicious value Burgundies to share with you. The region of Burgundy is situated in the eastern central part of France, and it's quite small. This small region is broken up into 5 primary growing regions, not including Beaujolais. From north to south, these are Chablis, the Côte de Nuits, the Côte de Beaune, and these 2 small regions make up the Côte d'Or, or the Golden Slope. And within this region, this is where you're going to find those primo bottles of wine. And yes, they are delicious, but no, they are not affordable. Then moving further south, there's the Côte Chalonnaise, and finally, the Mâconnaise. Burgundy can be an absolute nightmare to comprehend for both the general consumer and the wine professional. And this is because it is such a nuanced patchwork of different villages and vineyards. And the reason for this actually goes back to the French Revolution. Before the French Revolution, this land, the vineyard land, was in the hands of the nobility and the clergy, the church. After the Revolution, this land was taken away from those owners. Usually those owners lost their head, and the land was given up for sale to the general public. And then in the early 1800s, Napoleon's inheritance laws make this even more challenging. These laws stipulated that the land had to be split up evenly and equally amongst all of the heirs of the parents, not just the oldest male. And while this is certainly very fair, this led to intense fracturing and breaking apart of land, especially in Burgundy. So you often approach Burgundy and the many different styles of her various villages and vineyards through the lens of the producer, of which there are hundreds packed into this small region, and a lot of them share the last name because they are all these different branches of these families. So it makes it very confusing. It's a lot of fun. Because we could spend decades diving into the whole of Burgundy, I'm going to focus in on this BYOB episode through the lens of these wines. Though if you want to learn more about specific subregions and villages within Burgundy, there's a lot of great content on SOMM that you should absolutely check out. So let's start with our white wine. Now, if you have a white Burgundy, odds are it's going to be made from the delightful Chardonnay grape. There are some small exceptions to this rule, most notably a grape called Aligoté, which is delicious, and you can find amazing value with those wines as well. Highly recommend. Fortunately, if it is Aligoté, it is going to say that on the bottle, unlike the rest of Burgundy, where you don't get to know the grape. It's only going to be labeled based off of the village, vineyard, or larger subregion that it's from. Wonderful for Burgundy. The whites, most likely going to be Chardonnay, reds, Pinot Noir. Easy. So this bottle is indeed made from Chardonnay, and this is coming from one of the largest wine houses in Burgundy. Louis Jadot is a négociant, which means that they are buying grapes from grape growers and then making the wine themselves in their winery. They have an extensive lineup of wines that range from lower end $15, $20 a bottle to thousands of dollars a bottle. Growers, on the other hand, who own their own vineyards, are growing their own grapes and then making their own wine, those bottles tend to be a little bit pricier because of that cost of production and because they're making a lot less than these bigger houses. Louis Jadot has been producing in Burgundy since 1859 and now owns about 528 acres of vineyards, which is quite a lot in Burgundy. This bottle is their Mâcon Village, and I got it at Total Wine for $15.47. So this means these grapes are coming from this designated area within the Mâcon called Mâcon Village, so some selected areas of that region. It is a larger region as a whole. The more nuanced you get, you have the single names. Puy-Fuissé is a very popular area within the Mâcon. Going to be a little bit pricier. Their bottle is, I believe, about $25, but this is a great introduction to the Mâcon as a whole. So yes, coming from the Mâconnaise, this is again the southernmost part of Burgundy. It was kind of considered the black sheep of Burgundy, but I think more and more these wines are showing their quality and showing how delicious and beautiful they are, but you can also find great value down here. A red wine, this winery Domaine Saint-Germain is actually located in the Macon as well, so you've got red coming from there, a little rarer, but this is labeled just as Bourgogne or Burgundy because the grapes aren't coming just from the Macon, they're coming from all over the region. And when you find wines that are coming from the region as a whole, you tend to find more value as opposed to honing in on those single vineyards, which are a lot more expensive. So great value, they tend to be fresher, brighter, more approachable, easy drinking, meant to be drunk young. So yes, this is Domaine Saint-Germain's Bourgogne Rouge, 100% Pinot Noir. And this, I also got a total wine for $19.99, and I got the last bottle, haha. So let's taste. I'm gonna start again with this white wine, beautiful Macon Village. So there's no oak use on this wine. They really want the fruit to be pure. They want this to be snappy. They want it to be fresh, which it certainly is on the nose. Because the Mâconnais is in the south of Burgundy, it tends to be a little bit warmer than the rest of the area. So you'll typically see the wines are a little bit fuller, rounder, the fruit's a little riper, which I see a little bit on this, but it is pretty bright and pretty fresh. I'm getting a lot of like tart Granny Smith apples, definitely a lot of citrus on this. Lemon zest, lime zest. It's a little floral as well, a little herbaceous. It's got a wonderful salinity on the nose as well. Some underripe tropical fruit notes, pineapple, lychee, maybe a little mango. Underripe though. Lighter in body, maybe like nudging into the medium body, but very fresh, very light, very easy drinking. Moderate alcohol, high acid. Yay. It's got a nice finish. The finish is really showing off the underripe tropical fruit notes, especially the underripe pineapple. Lots of the orchard fruit, still very tart. More of a yellow apple now, like a golden delicious. The lemon zest, the lime zest, maybe a little like mandarin zest as well. Light floral notes, not overpowering at all, just kind of floating on the air there a little bit. It's gotten really hot here in LA, and I just want like lighter foods right now. Shellfish all day with this, scallops. This would be a great sushi wine. If you're cooking with veggies or if you're making a nice fresh salad, maybe a salad with some goat cheese in it, this would be nice because this does have a subtle little herbal component to it. But if you want to make something a little richer, a little creamier dishes, creamy poultry dishes or veal, this would be lovely. It has that acid to just cut right through that cream and that fat. Yeah, actually, I would eat that right now. I'm going to take that to the beach later and hide it because I'm not legally allowed to drink that. Anyway, moving on to our red. So this has lovely typical color of Pinot Noir. It's nice and pale. It's lovely ruby garnet hue. And on the nose, this smells like a very snappy, bright, bombastic young Pinot Noir in a nice way. Again, these are meant to be drunk younger, but lots of very high-toned red fruit notes. Red cherry, cranberry, pomegranate, underripe strawberry as well, underripe raspberry, all very bright. It's like it's dancing out of the glass at me. Also got this spiciness to it, black pepper. And then I'm getting a lot of baking spice notes. Not a lot, it's not overpowering, but clove, cinnamon, a little vanilla on here as well that's coming from oak usage. And then as any good Pinot Noir should have, I think, you don't want a Pinot Noir to be overly just fruit because there is this kind of sexy, earthy quality to it as well that I think should be present. Like mushrooms, forest floor, kind of like damp potting soil. It's subtle, it's in there. This is definitely more fruit, but there's that sexy little undercurrent of it in this on the palate. That has some really lovely structure to it. High acid again, huzzah. Moderate tannin, moderate alcohol. What is the alcohol on here? Why can I not find you? 12.5. And then for the red, for the Bourgogne Rouge, 13%, great. Both very restrained in their alcohol. We don't want anything too hot. The finish is starting to elongate really nicely. It's still a little, it needs to open up a little bit, like any wine does. Again, this is a young wine, it's tight, needs a little time to relax. So I would like to see, I might put this glass aside and see how that develops as the wine is open. This wine is going to be delightful with mushroom dishes. This could be a sushi wine too, but instead of the lighter, more citrusy fish, go with the meatier fish. Go with the tunas, the toros, with that nice soy sauce, savory, go umami things with this. Or you could do a seared ahi steak, with sesame crust. Kind of like what I did in Sparklers. This could be good with that. But yeah, umami dishes, mushrooms is great with poultry, duck. Unfortunately, there's just no cutting corners when it comes to if you want to taste one of the truly great wines of Burgundy. If you want to taste it, you're gonna have to pay for it, or someone is. Make friends with someone who wants to share that win, and then call me. So no cutting corners with that, but these wines, and wines like them, producers like these larger negociants that make these entry-level wines, I think you'll find they're pretty serious for entry-level and very delicious for what they cost. No, they're not. You're not gonna find these for $6, $7, but I think if you raise the price a little bit, $15, $20, you can find some real gems in Burgundy. So let me know what you think about these guys. Drop a comment if you have any suggestions for some other really great, affordable Burgundy bottles. And please check out our beautiful new original film, Inheriting the Future, only on Som TV. And until we open our next bottle together, I hope you keep exploring and trying new wines. Santé.